but what I'll tell you, you're in charge of the department. And people right now feel, I look at Durham report and I call on the FISA violations of queries of millions of Americans, right? It's like KGB, but when I read Durham reports, we have this.
Watch this rant that I was extremely impressed with by Representative Victoria Spartz of Indiana's 5th Congressional District, comparing Merrick Garland and his tactics to the KGB, coming from somebody who grew up in the Soviet Union.
Attorney General, you had a very moving statement about your grandparents coming here from Belarus to live in the country without fear of prosecution. I grew up in a very similar country, Ukraine now, and when I came here as a young person, I believed in the value as an American not to be afraid of my government. But I wanted to tell you, and I want to share with you and get your thoughts on that. Are you aware that a lot of Americans are now afraid of being prosecuted by your department? Are you aware about that? Are you aware of that? I'm just saying, are you aware or not?
I think that constant attacks on the department and saying
no, it's not attacks. Well, let me give you an example.
I don't know.
We talk about January 6th. People.
I'm sorry?
Here, there some people came on January 6th. There probably were some people that came on January 6th here, that had bad intent. But a lot of good Americans from my district came here because they are sick and tired of this government not serving them. They came with strollers and the kids, and there was chaotic situation because the proper security wasn't provided. That's a question that was answered really why. Why we debated for 45 minutes on the floor and didn't stop the debate after the people broke into the Capitol. But these people came, they were throwing the smoke bombs into the crowd with strollers with kids. People were showed up, FBI agent to people's houses. You had in my district, in my town, FBI phone numbers all over the district. Please call that. People are truly afraid. I just want to make sure if you're not aware that you are. And this is a big problem when people are afraid of their own government. And I'll share some other things. We're talking about justice system. I don't question, you're probably not a bad person. I don't know you. But what I'll tell you, you're in charge of the department. And people right now feel, I look at Durham report and I call on the FISA violations of queries of millions of Americans, right? It's like KGB, but when I read Durham reports, we have this, you have a nice, playbook. First, let's have a special counsel, and then you don't have to answer any questions here. Then, let's extend slow walk investigation on Hillary Clinton, on Hunter. Everything is slow walked. We were very quick on Donald Trump, but you were very slow walked. Then, by the time, that investigation and its statute of limitation expired, and all of your agents need to be tested for amnesia. No one recalls anything. Okay, you probably should have as part of your hiring policy. So no one held accountable, which was egregious what happened, in that report. When I read about them, I can't believe it happened in the United States of America. This is my frustration. I'll be honest with you. Then it's very interesting, regardless what it is, even people in Obama administration raised concerns. How can President's sons be serving on, corrupt Ukrainian oligarchs? Do you understand that it actually can undermine the one Ukrainian effort and policy? I think these concerns were raised. The Obama administration didn't do anything about it. These people are dying right now, and Americans don't trust this president. So I want to ask you one thing. I don't need answer because I know you're not going to, but I think you're probably a good American and you care. And a lot of these people are so afraid they cover up this stuff, I think, in your department because they're embarrassed that what we became as a country to say that what our Department of Justice became. That allows Russians to do propaganda in Chinese. It allows them to destabilize our country. That is danger to our republic. It is significant danger. And I have just one more question from you. I agree on corporate crimes and FISA stuff, even with Democrats, that we need to do a better job. One more question for you. Do you believe that, you talk about rights to vote, but do you believe that only U.S. citizens should be voting in this election and doing anything to make sure that only eligible people vote in elections?
Yes and yes.
Okay, I would like to see that, what you do. Thank you. Yield back.
I'm not easily impressed, but I thought that that was extremely powerful. I could feel her passion. And for the most part, I agree. It's one thing to charge people who broke the windows or committed a serious crime, but they tried to take that event, intimidate journalists, play a game of 6 degrees of separation, go crazy over the entire country, searching desperately. Really creepy stuff. And obviously, it's the double standards that are bothering a lot of people, including Thomas Massie, one of my favorite representatives, who grilled him over the fact that they're now coming after Elon Musk, which could be organic and it could be random, but it seems like as soon as he woke up and started speaking out against Democrat tyranny and being on the right side of history, all of a sudden they started coming after Elon.
Attorney General Garland, Elon Musk was a Democrat who admittedly supported Biden, but then he became a critic of the administration and exposed the censorship regime. Now, per public reports, the DOJ has opened not one but 2 investigations of Elon Musk. Mark Zuckerberg, on the other hand, spent $400 million in 2020 tilting the elections secretly for Democrats. No investigations whatsoever. To the American public, these look like mafia tactics. You pays your money, we look the other way. You get in our way, we punish you. The American public sees what these tactics are.
Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I've spoken about it a lot, but after 2020, where they locked the country down, printed trillions of dollars, caused inflation, both parties scammed us. Big Pharma, with the government's help, essentially held us for ransom over a vaccine that they told people they couldn't access society without. People were treated like lab rats and caged animals for years. The lack of compassion and the lack of empathy from the government and the representatives who did that to us or allowed it to happen is just stunning. I'm not saying you have to excuse everything. I don't think you should. But when it comes to the lopsided, one-sided, quote-unquote, justice system that seems gung-ho about persecuting its political enemies more than it does keeping law and order in the country, I mean, just look at the southern border. They persecute citizens of this country who pay 20 to 40% in taxes every year to the government. They persecute those people more than they seem to care about sealing up the border, where we have, I would for sure define it as an invasion, millions of people coming across every year from over 100 countries, according to reports I've seen. And Democrats don't care about that, but they're essentially hunting down conservatives and dissidents like Elon Musk, nitpicking at things that they allow others to get away with. Seems pretty obvious what's going on here. And I think Thomas Massie almost always hits the nail on the head, but congratulations to Victoria Spartz. I think that speech will put her on the map in Republican politics. God bless America, and hopefully the Democrats and Republicans come to their senses, because it's getting weird out here. Appreciate you guys. God bless. Hey, what's going on, my friends? Just a few ways to stay in touch and support if you'd like to. The first way is dreamrare.com. We have blue beanies, black beanies, pink hats, other colored hats, freedom versus tyranny shirts, Stay Blessed long sleeve, God is Great long sleeve, and lots of more cool items coming soon. Dreamrare.com. Check out the shop to support. Everything's made in the United States. Handpicked by me. Patreon.com/raretalk. For $5 a month, you can help support me. Support the show. If you haven't noticed, unlike other channels, I don't work with very many sponsors, sometimes none at all. And part of the way I'm able to do that is with the dreamrare.com shop and patreon.com/raretalk. So thank you guys for keeping this show free, unimpeded, uninterrupted. I'm forever grateful. My free email list is stayintouchwithme.com, so check the links below in the description or just type in on any browser stayintouchwithme.com, all one word. You'll find my email list, put it in there, and it's the least annoying email list you'll ever be on.